They promised a fortress, a home end reborn, but for months, all we saw was a hole in the ground. Now, the rigs have arrived, the steel is ready. But what happens when the very thing you're building for, the moment of glory, might arrive before the foundations are set? All right, you beautiful red dragons, welcome back to the channel. If you live and breathe Wrexham AFC, if you've been with the lads through non-lead hell and this Hollywood-backed, unbelievable rise to the championship, then hit that subscribe button and let's dive into the biggest off-pitch drama right now. We all know the dream, the four-sided stadium, the racecourse ground, or the stuck Kairas, packed to the rafters, finally able to host the thousands more desperate to get in. For years, the Kop has been a ghost, a scar on our historic ground. But the vision, Ryan and Rob's promise, has always been clear. A new, state-of-the-art stand, 5,500 seats minimum, a symbol of our League One and now Championship ambition. The news from CEO Michael Williamson this week, however, reveals a truth that has been quietly gnawing at every Wrexham fan's stomach. The Kop is now full steam ahead. The crucial electrical substation is moved, the infamous power cable is rerouted, the ground is being excavated, the piling, the real foundations, are going in within the next 30 to 45 days. That's the good news. But the kicker? Williamson confirmed what many of us feared. The new Kop is not expected to be finished for the UEFA Under-19 Championship finals in the summer of 2026. And the official completion? It's now penciled in for the start of the 2026-27 campaign. This isn't just about one tournament, is it? This is about the timing of Wrexham's unstoppable trajectory. This is about us, the fans, hitting the championship, perhaps even smelling the Premier League with a stadium that is still, physically, a work in progress. It raises the massive question, is the club's ambition outrunning its own infrastructure? But to understand how we got here, how a project that was once meant to be ready for this season has been pushed back this far, we need to go back to the beginning of the build-up. The context is everything. Wrexham's rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. 3 promotions in 3 seasons, from the National League to League One and now miraculously into the Championship. The lads, under Phil Parkinson, have delivered a Hollywood script better than the owners could have written. Every home game has been a sold-out frenzy. We have fans travelling from across the globe, all desperate for a piece of the action at the racecourse. But on the Kop site, the narrative has been one of frustrating delays. Back in 2023, the old dilapidated stand was demolished, a necessary act, clearing the ground for the future. Then came the reality check. The club's bid for government funding, the Levelling Up Fund, was rejected. The initial timeline was instantly shredded. The club, backed by Ryan and Rob's considerable wealth, pressed on, installing a temporary stand for around 3,000 fans just to cope with the sheer demand. It was a stopgap, a temporary injection of atmosphere and capacity. But the complexity of building on a site this historic, right next to the Wrexham Gateway project, right next to the university, has been a nightmare. Michael Williamson mentioned the sheer amount of unseen work that has taken place. The pitch upgrade for the U19 finals, with undersoil heating and the new TV gantries, had to be completed before the heavy machinery could properly move in on the Cup site. More critically, the legal and infrastructural hurdles were enormous. The land purchase agreements, the collapse of a lease deal, the planning application to increase the final capacity from 5,500 to the ambitious 7,500 plus seats, future-proofing for international matches. This wasn't just a simple construction job, it was a planning labyrinth. We've all been watching the site, frustrated, wondering, where's the steel? Where's the real progress? Behind the scenes, the gaffer, Parkinson has had to manage a squad riding an emotional high, yet constantly facing the reality of a temporary, noisy, but ultimately small ground. Here's the part that changes everything. The true turning point isn't a date on a calendar, it's a commitment. After months of this groundwork, the subterranean war on cables and substations, the club is finally moving to the visible phase. We are about to see the massive piling rigs go in. In the next month or so, those deep foundations will be drilled into the ground. This is the moment when the blueprint finally becomes bone and muscle. But here's the dramatic tension hanging over the racecourse like a storm cloud. Williamson's words were carefully chosen. Do I expect a big, beautiful cop stand there for the UEFA Under-19s? No, that's not the expectations, and it wasn't before either. The club is aiming for the new stand to be fully functional for the 2026-27 campaign. Let that sink in. Wrexham is in the Championship, a single promotion away from the Premier League. What if, fueled by the momentum of Hollywood, the noise of the racecourse, and the sheer quality of our lads, we find ourselves fighting for a place in the Premier League during the 2025-26 season? Will we be hosting top-flight football, the world's most watched league, with one of our main stands still being finished? What would that look like for the club? Would we be forced to ground share? Could anyone have predicted this meteoric 3-in-a-row success? Of course not. This incredible problem of growth is a testament to Rob and Ryan's impact. But it also exposes the core tension in this whole project. You can fast-track a football team with Hollywood money, but you cannot fast-track a construction project with the same ease. The club is now playing a dangerous game of catch-up with its own unbelievable success story. This wasn't just a delay, it was the entire club's ambition hitting the reality of Welsh infrastructure.
The reaction from the racecourse faithful has been mixed, but understandable. Social media, as always, has exploded. There's a core of pure excitement, celebrating the fact that the pilings are finally starting. This is the tangible, unmissable sign of progress everyone was waiting for. They're saying it's about time, but we'll take it. But there's also frustration. Season ticket holders, many of whom are crammed into the temporary stand or the limited capacity of the other three sides, are gutted. They see the ambition on the pitch, the signings, the documentary's global reach, and they're asking, why can't we get this done quicker? The local paper, The Leader, has highlighted the tension, focusing on Williamson's insistence that they want to get it done right. The CEO's statement is the club's defensive line. The most important thing is we want to make sure it's done right. We want to make sure it's done correctly because it's the only one that we're building from scratch, from start to finish. It's a message designed to soothe the impatience, telling the fans to trust the process even if the timeline is painful. The dressing room fallout? Players like Mullin and Lee understand the limitations. They thrive on the atmosphere, even if it's currently capped at around 12,000. But imagine the psychological lift that a full 18,000 capacity, four-sided stadium would give the lads in a tight championship promotion race. The club has managed its pitch brilliantly, getting the undersoil heating and stitch pitch installed in the summer to meet UEFA standards. That was the easy win. Now comes the hard part, the visible, year-long slog of building a cathedral for football. This delay and the confirmed timeline means one thing. The emotional and financial cost of this project just got higher. For the promotion push, it means the 2025-26 season in the Championship will be played with severely limited home capacity. Less revenue, fewer passionate voices, fewer tickets for the tens of thousands on the waiting list. It impacts our ability to truly leverage the Hollywood money, because matchday revenue, while not the biggest earner, is crucial, and atmosphere matters. This all connects back to Wrexham's unique journey. Ryan and Rob bought the club in part to tell a story about a resilient, working-class town. This delay, this battle with red tape and infrastructure, is the gritty, unscripted part of Welcome to Wrexham that reminds everyone that even with Hollywood money, the rules of construction, planning and real-world setbacks still apply. It's a throwback to the non-league days, a reminder that we have to graft for every single inch of progress. This club has always had to build itself back up from the foundations. We've seen this before. We saw the near-death experiences of the 2000s, the battle for the ground itself. The racecourse has always been a constant source of drama. The new COP, with its 7,500-plus capacity plans, is the key to our long-term stability, and the owners are right to say it has to be perfect. But for now, we have to settle in. We have to brace ourselves for another season where demand massively outstrips supply, and where every away fan who comes to the racecourse will see that hole in the ground, the physical representation of our glorious yet complicated ambition. They can give us a timeline, they can give us an architect's drawing, but they can't bottle the feeling of a packed racecourse. We'll get there. The pilings are going in. The heart is being rebuilt. At the end of the day, this is what being a Wrexham fan is all about. The brutal honesty, the struggle for every inch, and the hope that eventually that fortress will be complete. This club has been through worse, and we always come back stronger. Let me know in the comments, was the club right to take their time and ensure the COP is perfect, even if it delays the opening? Hit like if you're backing Wrexham's rise no matter what, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds!